Good evening, everyone. My name is Ronald President. I'm the chairman of the Zoning Board of Appeals, Town of Mount Pleasant. And welcome to tonight's meeting. Looks like it's going to be an abbreviated meeting. We only have 2 applications for this evening. Before we start, let me first just introduce the members of our board. To my far right is Adrian Novak. To my immediate right is Mr. Nick DeCicco. To my left is Kathy Niclario, for Secretary of Zoning. And to her left is Mr. Herb Dorr, and on the extreme left is Mr. George Lapazos. And the gentleman sitting at the table with all the plans over there, that's Mr. Joseph Briganti, the building inspector for the town of Mount Pleasant. So the first applicant, I'm going to forget about the introductions for tonight, and I'm going to go right into the applications. 24-37, Amanda Mokia and Kevin Nicholson. All right, come on up. Okay. Yep, take this, just grab the mic if you want. Raise your right hand, please. Testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Okay. For the public record, you're Amanda Nokia?
Motion, yeah.
Did I pronounce it right or wrong?
It's okay. No,
Okay,
that's right.
okay. And Kevin, you're the owner of the premises located at 561 Manhattan Avenue in Thornwood, New York, correct?
Yes.
And on the tax map, it's section 112.6, block 1, lot 8. And you're here for a proposed installation of a 5-foot-high fence to an existing single-family dwelling on a legal substandard parcel of 48,000 square feet. Substandard means size. That's all it means. So you're in an R10 zone. If you had 9,999.9 square feet, you're still a substandard parcel. The law is that maximum fence height is 4 feet, and you're proposing 5 feet, correct? And you need a 1-foot variance. All right. If I recall from the plans, you're putting in the base is solid, then you're putting a, how would I describe it? Like a honeycomb? Like a lattice work. Which is what the town looks forward to, because with fences, when you have a solid 5-foot or 6-foot fence, if it's facing the north or or other areas, in 6 months, it's not a white fence anymore. It's now a green fence or a brown fence and so on. But we took a look at the property on Saturday. And I didn't see any issues regarding it except for the height. And the fact that you have the lattice for the 5th foot, for the last foot, I have no questions on that, all right? So I'm going to turn it over to Adrienne Novak, see if she has any questions.
Hi, good evening. I just want to clarify that it's 5 feet on the front side and 6 foot only along that back side.
Yes. Yeah.
No further questions.
Okay. Mr. DeCicco?
I don't have any questions, Mr. Chairman. I would just say I was on the site visit with you, and I would concur with your take on the application.
Okay. Mr. Dorr?
Just for the record, why do you need the heights and where you putting the fence?
Well, the fence is going around the property just in the back, so along kind of like where the front of the house starts. We have a very small property, as I'm sure you saw, like 1 house on the left, 2 in the back diagonal, 1 directly to the right. We have a small dog, so obviously don't want him getting out, and obviously there's animals, other kids in the area, just don't want any incident to happen, so.
Mr. Lapazos?
Nothing, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Okay. Do I have an,
Mr. Chairman, based on the testimony given, and I move that we approve the 724-37.
okay, do I have a second?
Do we want to ask if there's anybody here?
The only person that's here is on the next application. No? Anybody here against this application or for it? What are you here for?
The next application.
Next application. That gentleman over there on the other side? What are you here for? Next application? Okay. So there's nobody here for or against the application? All right. Do I have a second?
So I made the motion.
Yes.
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
All right, second by Mr. Lepartos. Ms. Novak?
Approved.
Mr. DeChico?
Aye.
And the chairman votes aye, carry 5-0. All right,
Thank you.
good. Get home and take care of the dogs. All right, next application is 24-40, Philip Holub, applicant for Michael Timothy Pierce. Raise your right hand. Testimony about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
It is.
Do, okay. You are Philip Holub?
I am Philip Holub, the architect for Timothy Pierce and Mandy Pierce. This is the second time I'm appearing before the board for this project. About a year ago, over a year ago, we started this project and proposed a variance. However, in that first iteration, we were demoing out the whole garage and the whole section of the house, that whole portion of the house, and we're coming out towards the property line in two directions, to the side and to the front.
All right, let me do two things.
So-
Number one, where is your office located?
I'm in Chappaqua.
Chappaqua.
New York, yeah.
Where in Chappaqua?
On King Street.
You know it very well.
37, across from Starbucks, above the Icon.
Oh, okay, I know where you are.
Yeah.
Right around the corner, there's the, used to be the luncheonette in there, and so on.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
that's-
For the public record, this is the premises of, you're representing Michael Timothy Pierce, owner of the premises located at 12 Far Hill Lane in Pleasantville, New York, and on the tax map, it's section 107.0, block 1, lot 7,
Yes.
correct? And it's proposed two-story addition with an increased footprint to a previously granted zoning board approval, 22-54, for a two-story addition on February 9, 2023, on a legal standard parcel of 46,500 square feet in the R40 zone. And you're looking for two variances. The first one being the side yard setback, 20 feet's required, existing is 23, you're proposing 17, and therefore you want a 7.5-foot variance.
Correct, yes.
Actually, it's a 5.5-foot variance considering where the house is right now, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And then the combined yard setback, 50 feet's required, existing is 54. You're asking for 48, or you're asking for a little over a 1-foot variance?
Yeah, at one point it got pushed over
Yeah,
there. once we-
1.19.
yeah.
Okay. Show
Um,
us.
So,
It's gonna be crooked.
I'd just like to clarify that
You can take that out of the socket there.
So the first proposal, the reason we didn't move forward with that proposal was because it initially relied on the demolition of the whole structure and coming out over into the driveway and forward, which after bidding the whole project out, the cost was prohibitive. So in this edition, we're keeping this facade on the garage as it is, and we're just coming out forward into the front section. However, just with the geometry of the site and the way that the property line lies, we're now coming out further. I mean, we looked at different ways, but the layout in the bathroom just, and the addition just sort of works best in this. This area here is largely unused because it's a retaining wall area, so we would basically just end the retaining wall. It was a low little curb here at this point into the addition, and we're really limited to how much we can go out anyway because it's a driveway, so they have to be able to drive past. So, basically, ideally we would avoid this situation and would have gone with the first proposal or tried to make it work within the setback. but it wasn't really working out, and the owner now is going through this process for the second time
Yeah.
in a hope that we can get a more a manageable project, because at this stage we'll not be coming out in two sections, and we will maintain the framing of this floor, and basically just be sort of cutting off from this section, and evidently that will save a lot of money. So,
And like so that actually that you're coming out 5 feet.
so yes, we're coming out 5 feet, and that is to the overhang as well. That's given because at this point the floor will come out 2 feet, sort of mushroom up over these sides. So that dimension is given to the overhang, but in fact, at the ground level, at the foundation level, it will be less, which is so. In that situation, we would be 19.8 feet. And the numbers doesn't matter, but that's given to the furthest extremity. So we're actually the foundation will be in just to allow circulation, and just we're trying to optimize and keep it
Okay,
in
thank you.
as
Mr.
tight of a
Pazos,
footprint
you
as
have any
possible.
questions?
No, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Mr. Dorr?
No questions, John.
Mrs. DeChico?
No questions, Mr. Chairman. I will say that we were there over the weekend, and I think the representations here are in line with what we saw on Saturday.
Yeah. Ms. Novak?
No questions.
Okay. Anybody here for or against this application?
Can we look at where we put in this extension? I'm on 13 Pheasant Run Road, right below it.
Oh, sure, yeah, I can,
So, I mean, I just got the letter, so I have no idea what you're doing and where you're doing
Sure.
it. We've had issues with that property up above with
You want to put them on the record?
flooding and
All
water
right.
and...
Just raise your hand. Testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Are you going to speak for everybody?
Sure.
Might as well. Why don't you guys have a seat? All right.
so,
I need his name. Sir, I need your name and address, I'm sorry, for the record.
Fred Tripodi, Tripodi. It's 13 Pheasant Run Road.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
so this is the property here, and we're going to come out forward about 10 feet, just within in that garden area, just inside here. But because of the way that so I'll show you on the survey, that's basically what the additions are. Right now it ends here. So you are located. So they're basically coming out this way from the front of the property. That section, so I'll just direct you right there. We're not coming down towards your property. No. We're not coming down to your property. It's all basically to the front.
On the bottom left would be the extension area, right, correct?
Correct, so that
Bottom left, that diagram right there, that would show the extension?
this is a zoom in of this front of the house, but the extension is to the front. I believe this is the owner of the property at the rear of the, or to the rear property boundary.
Can I ask a question? Is this changing the grade of the property? Because we have flooding problems, we
Mhm.
get water coming down, and a lot of money was just invested on my father to fix those.
Mhm.
Is this going to affect the flow of the water in any capacity?
No, they will be just tying into the existing stormwater infrastructure at the front of the property, but it will not be regrading the property in any way, and it's really just to the front of the property, and nothing that will, to the best of my knowledge, nothing is happening to the back of the property, and well, not to this side. They're just coming out over to the driveway. So where the existing curb, if you go to the front, where the existing, as you drive in, they're just going to come out a little bit to the front. A total of.
Can you put your name on the record, sir? Just give us your name for the...
Justin,
100.
same last name, Tripodi?
Okay.
No,
You
I-
got the 13 too?
I do.
This
Okay.
section. Yeah, this is.
Thank you.
You stand, I'll turn it upside down. So you stand in front of their house. Coming out to the front. Yeah. And because the setback is the existing house is 23 feet the property boundary, but because the setback is 25, it's already non-conforming, so just the angle. Even, yes. No, we're not coming in, so we're just coming out the front.
Guys, we need to, because it's not really, this type of discussion is not really meant for the public hearing. It really should be done beforehand. We're trying to, as a courtesy, give you time to understand what's happening, but we can't do a 10-minute private discussion in the middle of the public hearing. So,
Right.
do you have any, do you feel like you understand the project better,
Yeah,
sir?
it's fine, when it's not affecting my copy, like I said, but I'm not surprised.
Would you like to make any specific comments on the record before, like, we?
No, I mean, it's fine. You know, if he's going in the front and he's not going on the side and changing the terrain, the topography.
And the application is for just an extension just in the front in the rectangular area that he showed you,
Right,
not in the back, it's not pushing out the side.
right, so that's
Um,
fine.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any?
Can I just ask what you're referring to as flooding issues and stuff?
Water
on the property?
coming from Far Hill. I mean, it's just, you know, I'm development below, so every time we get heavy rains, I get massive water coming down. I mean, I've had my pool flood out and mudslides 3 times. And I spent tens of thousands of dollars with drainage and regrading of the land. And finally, you know, we've come to a point that we've had no problems. There's a lot of runoff coming from that property, from the house next door and this house over here. I mean, you come during heavy rain, it's a river. But I have drainage now, with storm drains that were already there, that could cut in. So that was my own concern. I didn't know where the building was happening. I didn't know if they were coming out the back, the side, it was going to affect that terrain and have more issues again, which I'm kind of mitigating.
Okay.
Do you feel like you understand what the project is now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do I have a decision on this particular application to approve or deny?
Motion to approve the application Z2440 as submitted.
Okay.
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Novak. Mr. Dorr?
Approved.
Approved. And Mr. Labatos?
Aye.
All right, carry 5-0 with Chairman approving. All right, do I have a motion to close the meeting?
I'll make a
Thank you.
motion to close the meeting.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for
That's it.
coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Another approved.